Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am RHODA NGOZI. Let's take a look at the top stories this evening. Hundreds of mourners gather in Rome to bid farewell to Pope Benedict XVI. The Catholic Church in Uganda mourns the fallen Pope, while government distribute over 600 freehold land titles in Kakumiro. And former Archbishop Lwanga applauded for developing the church. Hello once again, let's dig into it. The funeral of Pope Benedict XVI has been held at the Vatican. The first time in hundreds of years a funeral service for a former pope has been presided over by a current pope. Before the service, Pope Benedict's body had been lying in state in St. Peter's Basilica, dressed in robes and clutching rosary beads, allowing tens of thousands of mourners to file past. Benedict XVI has been buried in the crypt under St. Peter's Basilica, where Pope John Paul II was originally interred in 2005 before his body was moved up to a chapel after his beatification.
Gathered from around the world who are present here today, processing in, and they will take their places.
Pope Francis joined hundreds of clergy and the laity in St. Peter's Square to preside over the funeral of his predecessor who resigned from the papacy in 2013. As it began, pallbearers carried Benedict's coffin out of the huge church and rested it before an altar in front of St. Peter's Square. Inside the vast space, thousands of people had gathered, including heads of state, royalty and clergy from around the world. Latin chants, sung by the Sistine Chapel Choir, echoed across the square. The mood was solemn and subdued. During the Mass, concelebrated by cardinals, bishops and priests, Pope Francis spoke of wisdom, tenderness and devotion that he bestowed upon us over the years.
Ancora una volta l'amore che non si perde, e vogliamo farlo con la stessa unzione, sapienza e delicatezza e dedizione che egli ha saputo elargire nel corso degli anni. Vogliamo dire insieme: Padre, nelle tue mani consegniamo il tuo spirito.
During the service, he was laid out in coffin made of cypress wood, enclosed first by zinc with a further wooden coffin inside. Some in the crowd held banners or shouted Santo Sabito, Italian for sainthood now, an echo of calls that were made during the funeral in 2005 of John Paul II, the last pope to die. Following the ceremony, at his own request, Benedict was entombed in the crypt beneath St. Peter's in an area once occupied by the coffin of John Paul II. Benedict was buried with a document in Latin that detailed some of the most notable occurrences of his papacy, alongside some coins and other papal regalia.
Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum, Spiritus Sancte operante virtute, vivicas et sanctificas universa, et populum tibi congregare non desinis.
10 years ago, Benedict made the rare decision to step down as pope, citing advanced age as the main reason that he was no longer strong enough to lead the church. In his final years, Benedict lived in a monastery with the Vatican gardens. He continued to wear white and did not revert to his old name, being referred to instead as Pope Emeritus, a decision that was criticized at the time.
Per Iesum Christum unigenitum sum in Spiritum Sanctum Dominum et vivificante.
At the end of the service, the choir sang, "May the angels lead you into paradise." Pope Francis placed his hand on the wooden coffin in a final prayer before it was carried away to be sealed and placed in another coffin of zinc and an outer one of wood.
Francis and the Pope.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
To a close. We will return tomorrow morning for the liturgy for the solemn.
Meanwhile, the Catholic community in Uganda has bidded farewell to the late Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI, referring to him as one who served humanity and kept the church intact during his tenure of service. This was during the Requiem Mass held this Thursday afternoon at Lwanga Cathedral in Kampala.
As the solemn Requiem Mass of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI was going on at St. Peter's Basilica, Rome, a similar ceremony was being held in Kampala in memory of the late Pontiff. This was led by the Pope Nuncio Uganda, Right Reverend Luigi Bianco.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, you have given the world its true light, Jesus, your Son, the Son of God. You abandoned yourself completely to God's call, and this became a wellspring of the goodness which flows forth from him.
In attendance was the Kampala Archdiocese Bishop, Right Reverend Paul Semogerere.
We are sad, but we also rejoice with him, knowing that he has dedicated his whole life to serve the Lord, and have served well all the years of his life as a priest, a bishop, and a pope. One particular quality that all people have acknowledged about Pope Benedict is his brilliant and intellectual competence. He had a powerful analytical mind and always provided very sharp insights into challenges facing the world, facing the church and society. We can rightly acclaim that he was a prophet of our time and truly enlightening to society.
The chairperson of Uganda Episcopal Conference, Right Reverend Dr. Anthony Zwa, graced the occasion.
We recognize with appreciation the pastoral achievements of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI during his pontificate. He served God and the universal church devotedly and was deeply convinced of the truth which he always upheld. We shall always remember him as an ardent promoter and defender of the Catholic doctrine as espoused by the Second Vatican Council, in which he himself made a significant contribution as a theologian.
The leader of opposition in Parliament, Matthias Impuga, was also present. Members of Parliament, division mayors and the general public.
It's been a very fruitful paper sale for the church, and he has had many landmarks for his service.
The Catechumen of Uganda, Charles Peter Maiga, also graced the Requiem Mass.
When Pope Benedict XVI was elected Pope in 2005, he stated that he was a humble servant in the Lord's vineyard. And before his elevation to the head of the papacy, he was instrumental in defining the position of the church on spiritual matters concerning Catholics and the entire global Christian community. He was also instrumental in defining the relationship between Catholics and non-Catholic Christians, and between Christians and non-Christians in the world.
The former pontiff, Benedict XVI, died peacefully on 31st December 2022 and has been laid to rest this Thursday, 5th January 2023. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Now, the late Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Livingstone Mpalanyi Nkoyoyo, has been commended for the tremendous work he did towards the development of the church and the country in his lifetime. This was communicated from different speakers during the 5th Nkoyoyo Memorial Lecture that was held at Anglican Matters site in Namugongo. The guest of honor, President Yoweri Museveni, pledged continued support towards the church.
Christians have gathered in big numbers at the Anglican Matters site in Namugongo to commemorate the life of the then late Archbishop of Church of Uganda, His Grace Livingstone Mpalanyi Nkoyoyo, for the tremendous work towards the church and the country at large. The celebrations included a memorial service and a lecture. The main celebrant was the Archbishop His Grace Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, who commended the late Nkoyoyo for being an all-round person with a vision of developing the church and the country.
All these things we are seeing, orphanage homes, amaka agabana bamulekwa, the needy children, abali mu bwetaavu, he supported them, yabawagira. I'm talking about Dr. Livingstone, who was not discriminating anybody. He loved the kingdom. He loved his king. He loved the government of Uganda. He was always supporting the projects. This man I'm talking about, he loved God.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was represented by Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, Minister for Energy, who applauded Archbishop Mpalanyi Nkoyoyo for his good works.
The President requested that we take a moment of silence. Years back, this place was a deserted area until 2013, when my friend, on behalf of the Church of Uganda, decided to develop it. He came to me and requested for support. I, together with my family and on behalf of the government of Uganda, accepted to support this project.
President Museveni also appreciated the innovations which are ongoing at the site, pledging more support.
Especially the worship center. And I urge you to continue with this good work. I thank the Archbishop of Church of Uganda and the House of Bishops and the development team. We shall continue to support church to complete this project. I also salute the church for organizing this day.
Minister Ruth Nankabirwa had this to say about the late Archbishop Nkoyoyo.
Norwich abayi a memorial lecture. Nemuyiya nti tufuneyo moment. Twerekereze byonna. Let us get a moment and thank God for the gift of Tata Nkoyoyo. Mwebale kuyiya.
Other speakers, including Omulangila Haji Kassim Nachibinge, also appreciated the late.
Eyali omukulembeze, a national leader, kubanga fenna yali mukulembeze waffe. Bwe yabanga abuulira, teyabuliranga bakristaayo bokka, wabula yabuliranga abantu b'eggwanga lyaffe lino Uganda. Yali musajja mugazi with a vast brain.
Was an epitome of humility. And he was a visionary, a man who had integrity, a man who loved his religion, he loved God, and he was ecumenical in his prayer. He was embracive in that he brought in the Muslims, the Catholics, the Pentecostals, and all the other churches together. He believed that God was one.
Before the memorial service and lecture, participants first toured the ongoing construction site, which was envisioned by the late Archbishop Dr. Mpalanyi Nkoyoyo. The then Archbishop His Grace Livingstone Mpalanyi Nkoyoyo died on the 5th of January 2018. Rebecca Nantongo, Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Government, through the Ministry of Lands, has embarked on a program of revitalizing the long-awaited processing and distribution of land titles under the systematic land demarcation. Now, in 2008, the government started surveying land in the former lost counties of Buyaga and Bukangaizi. Exercise commenced in Kasingo Parish, Bwanswa Sub-County, and was expected to cover the entire Bugangaizi and Buyaga counties with the current Kibale, Kagadi, and Kakomero districts.
Addressing residents of Kakomero Town Council in Kakomero District, Prime Minister RHODA Nabanja attributed the delay in producing the titles to the computerization process of the land management system. Nabanja appeals to the people of Kakomero to prepare to host the big numbers of people by tapping from them through service provision. The Commissioner for Surveys and Mapping in the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Wilson Ogalo, assured the people that the government will distribute freehold land titles.
We have done the surveying together with you, and you are going to get freehold land titles. Freehold. It is to make sure that you have security of tenure, you can sleep now, everything, because there will be no disturbance whatsoever.
The residents who will receive the land titles expressed their happiness and thanked the government for remembering them. Meanwhile, the National Organizing Committee for the 37th NRM Liberation Day, slated for January 26th, has sat in Kakomero to prepare for the big day. Alhaji Yunus Kakande, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry for the Presidency, says that several committees have been put in place to handle the task.
I have the Correction Subcommittee, which is headed by Officer of the President for the glory of the day. I have Protocol Subcommittee, Foreign Affairs, which is headed by Mr. Singo Maria.
The Prime Minister assured the National Organizing Committee that Kakomero District is ready for the event.
When we have such a big day, we also want to showcase NRM. What has NRM done for this part of the country? So we saw the road, which is almost complete, as one of our flagship program.
We want to pray that God gives you more energy to serve this country and more years, not only energy but even more years.
The RDC Kakomero District Major David Matovu, who is the chairperson of the organizing committee in the district, asked NOC to award medals to some people from the region.
We did affirmative action and support that we are guided on how we could see some deserving cases.
During the event, the president is expected to commission the Kakomero Buhimba 93-kilometer tarmac road, the NRM house, and also lay a foundation stone at Kakomero district headquarter building.
Director Basic and Secondary Education Ismail Mulindwa says that it was resolved that all students who were in Senior 3 last year be promoted to Senior 4 this year. The ministry has therefore asked all schools in the country not to make students repeat classes.
While addressing teachers and head teachers of government-aided schools in Kakomero district, the Director Basic and Secondary Education, Ismail Mulindwa, said making students repeat mainly in Senior 3 will be condemning them because of the change in curriculum. Is that this has been discovered that some schools complain of lack of enough teachers and start recruiting private ones, yet they are not properly deployed by the head teachers. He says that some schools are using this as a scapegoat to charge parents money for purportedly to recruit teachers. The Prime Minister Robina Nabanja warned head teachers in government-aided schools to stop charging parents because it's against the policy of government and sabotages the implementation of the NRM manifesto.
Failing to provide education to everybody as promised in our manifesto. Why? Charges in schools. If you want to charge, organize your school. Nobody will stop you from charging even when you want to be per student.
The Minister of State in charge of basic education, Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, asked teachers to produce results in schools or else government will swing into action.
We want to see the issue of absenteeism being addressed through your profession UBC. We want to see complaint about teachers. You are charging parents, you are distorting money.
Meanwhile, teachers in Kakumiro district have dissected the causes of poor performance in government-aided schools and promised to adjust in this academic year.
Among the causes, inadequate planning, failure of learners to read.
Kakumiro district has grappled with both high school dropout rates of 46% and poor performance at both primary leaving examinations and Uganda certificate of education. The district in the last 5 years has registered 4% pupils passing in Division 1, while 14% failing according to data at the Education Department of Kakumiro.
Now, Uganda People's Defence Forces Engineering Brigade has given a 30-day ultimatum to Namboole Stadium land encroachers to vacate or face forceful eviction and arrest. The army men took up the mantle of refurbishing the National Stadium, and so far the first phase is done.
When the UPDF Engineering Brigade took up the construction role of Namboole Stadium, first was securing Namboole land from encroachers. A 4-kilometer wall that cost to 3.8 billion shillings has been finalized. But as the construction works went on, encroachers on the land were warned to vacate, but on deaf ears. Now all encroachers have been given up to the 15th of February to vacate or else face arrest.
In Namboole, as you watched, the perimeter wall has found encroachers on the government land. Now it's only prudent that we should hand over a job completely done, a stadium ready for use. Now as those encroachers, we are giving them up to 15th Feb. They should find their way out and go. By 15th, we shall start demolishing those structures you have seen, because they are illegal in that stadium. There is no compensation because they are encroachers. You can't have stolen my property, then I compensate you to leave.
Encroachments on the land stretch through Bayogere, Chireka and Namboole wetland. On the land are markets, washing bays, shops, hotels, a police station and homes. UPDF says that it will not spare any of the encroachers, including Uganda Police.
Meanwhile, the Seventh-day Adventist Church has raised concern over land grabbing and encroachment on church land located in Nansana Town, Wakiso District. The land in question houses the headquarters of Advanced Microfinance, a financial institution owned by the church's relief agency, ADRA Uganda.
On the New Year's Eve, as the country was in celebrations, men with pangas and others with guns surrounded the Seventh-day Adventist land in Nansana Town Council that harbors Advanced Microfinance, breaking down the perimeter wall. As it is known by the Seventh-day Adventist believers, they had gone for the Sabbath rest when the demolition took place. After 2 days, other men came through and started the excavations. And it is at this point that the Seventh-day Adventist Church realized that the matter was serious. Reporting to police, the men in uniform promised to take action, but did not.
Boarded up the place with the iron sheets after demolishing the wall, and the police promised that they would be able to monitor what was going on. So by that time, whoever was working had dispersed. We couldn't find anybody. We brought the matters to the attention of our lawyers. We also informed the different stakeholders that we have. But on the following day, which is now Wednesday, when we came here, they had started excavating some holes. We thought they were maybe going to put back the perimeter wall or something. We had not received any communication from anybody. We wanted to know who was behind all this.
Talking to UBC TV, the Seventh Adventist Church raises concern over land grabbing and encroachment on church land.
As a church, we call all authorities and the government to protect the church and the church property. It is unfortunate that this is not something new in Uganda. You are all aware of what happened in Endeavour. Up to now, nothing is happening, and now it has come into the Seventh Adventist Church. This is the Seventh Adventist property. RHODA Uganda is an institute of the Seventh Adventist Church.
The land in question houses the headquarters of the Advanced Microfinance, a financial institution owned by the Church Relief Agency, RHODA Uganda.
Keeping in mind this history, RHODA, through Advance, has been on this property for over 15 years, having peaceful and quiet possession without any form of hindrance from the local officers in the area or from the neighbors, until only 31st when we received this kind of illegal and illegitimate acts from the so-called Mr. Drake Lwanga.
While contacted on phone, in response, Drake Lwanga denies owning land in Nansana.
Sent transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN mobile money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
Introducing the all-new Roofing's TMX 500C rebars with cut and bend services. Roofing's, strength of a nation.
Leaders who care create a good learning environment.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Over the years, we've dreamed to get onto the world stage. We've had that dream crushed. We've witnessed a total defeat of what could have been our greatest moment. We've felt our spirits go up, only to take a hard fall. We've had our fires burn out and leave only scars. We've seized the wind and had it pulled from our grasp. We've seen pain and we've seen loss of the last fragments of hope. But we are made of resilience, and resilience never stops dreaming. So we will dream even bigger with the Cranes Cup Ball 2026. Together, let's take Uganda to the next FIFA World Cup.
Together, let's take Uganda to the next FIFA World Cup. For every Now Special you buy, we will give 50 shillings to the Uganda Cranes 2026 fund. You will also get the chance to choose how the Cranes Cup Bowl contributions are spent. Now Special, official beer of the FIFA World Cup and official beer partner of the Uganda Cranes.
Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Fun battery phone.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Capote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Capote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Capote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Tosoka nompa hemanga tona dinda genyonta esuse kodia abasoga myuse nenkalama teriwa nenyula jonyambe umpe okuhema cause I love you hema everybody know oh hema maziganga gampomela.
Paying for groceries the old way.
3, 4. Yeah.
Allow me. Paying for groceries with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to conveniently pay for goods and services. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
That's my wife.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. Minister of State for Labour in the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, also a young North Member of Parliament, Charles Okello Angola, has vowed to crack down on all government officials who have been extorting the elders' salary under Surge program. Currently, the chairperson LC2 of Awiyo Parish in Oyam District, Geoffrey Ogwang, is being held at Oyam CPS for collecting 75,000 shillings from the elders.
Pick them and lock them up. I don't have mercy.
Local leaders and government officials in Oyam district are in trouble for allegedly soliciting money from the elderly receiving their monthly pay.
And whoever comes to tell me, please forgive this one and what, blah, 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 I'll lock that one up.
State Minister for Labour, also Oyam North Member of Parliament, retired Colonel Charles Okello Angola, said the elderly volunteered to him information during his festive holidays in the constituency that at least 75,000 shillings was collected from each of them by the chairperson LC2 of Awiyo Parish in Oyam District.
And these people went to these old people, old persons, and told them they were sent by CDOs. They were sent by the technical team from the district to get this money. So I want to follow that thing. I'm telling you, if it is true, these people should be interdicted.
Innocent Ogwale, 82-year-old and a resident of Awiyo Parish, is one of the elders whose money was taken. He says they were threatened to pay or have their names removed from the list. On the 2nd of this month, Geoffrey Ogwang, the LC2 chairperson of Awiyo Parish in Oyam District, was arrested. Police say they have preferred demanding for properties with menace against him.
So we are glad that they opened up and this allegation was brought to the police. For now, the preferable charge is under Section 293 of the Penal Code Act. That is demanding properties with menace.
And I've decided to stay here to track these people. I'm not going to office until I pick all of them, those who are stealing. Then I go.
Government pays older persons who have clocked 80 years 25,000 shillings monthly. This means if 75,000 shillings is taken away from their yearly arrears, they only remain with the money for 9 months. For a long time, the elderly and local leaders have been advocating for a reduction of the beneficiary age.
We should give our president some more 5 years to do it, to rectify certain things with us. So instead of saying we are changing the government, changing is not an issue.
In Uganda, senior citizens were the first target group through a social assistance grant for empowerment SAGE under the scheme for expanding social protection. Ediolwa, UBC News.
Now, for centuries, cats and dogs have been domesticated for companionship or to deal with rats and security, respectively. But not all homes fancy these mammals. Some, therefore, end up neglecting and abandoning them for reasons best known to them, thus increasing the number of neglected animals on the street. Here in Kampala, an organization has taken a noble cause of rescuing such animals and providing them with shelter.
A casual look at this residence may end up just as one, but it may not be what it appears, with the ambience behind the walls. These cats and dogs call this place home. Our visit here is not much welcomed, with these carnivorous animals barking at us as soon as we made our way inside the shelter. Here we are welcomed by Alex Ocheng, who is the general manager for this shelter, Uganda Society for Protection and Care for Animals, a profession he has practiced for the last 10 years.
The time you want to approach the cat, you normally do like this. And if you're coming near you, you know that cat is friendly. There are some which, if you go like that, they run away or they want to scratch you.
He has mastered the behavior of these tamed animals, and he knows which one is friendly and which one is not. As such, he has established a connection with them. This is a cattery that houses about 50 different species of cats, and everyone that is here has its own story.
As I told you, this guy was not born like this without a tail. He got stuck on a reservoir in Kololo. Then someone called us. It was an evening of about around March, April. So that tail was damaged completely. And so we end up to remove the tail and we remain tailless like that.
Just a few meters from here is a man's best friend, dogs. Well connected with Ocheng. All animals kept here were rescued, others from streets while others from homes. And here, the newly rescued dogs are separated from the rest. This dog, for example, whose health is improving, was rescued as it was about to die.
They call me all the time for rescue. And you know we are using fuel. Sometimes you don't have a fuel. And you want to run from here to Mpigi. As I just show you a boy which I rescue from Mpigi. You bring them in with a lot of ticks, disease, and you must treat that before you mix them with others.
Established in 1996, Uganda Society for Protection and Care for Animals is an organization that rescues and provides shelter for animals.
There's someone who came in and found so many stray dogs, and they started like fostering. Then later on they start a shelter which called Heaven, which now we are running. Is about, we have over 300 animals, dogs and cats inside here, plus the new place also we have other dogs there.
Since this is not a breeding area, these animals undergo through surgeries to prevent them from reproduction.
So we are rescue, then we are doing birth control, family planning in another way you can understand it, which is spay. Spay is S-P-A-Y. That is for female. Then male is castration. We remove the ovary outside in females to stop producing completely. The way you see, you already see the vet is doing that one in the clinic.
Stephen Lukwago, a veterinary doctor, is conducting surgery that takes between 15 to 20 minutes. Stephen says the operation follows a procedure. where a dog is first injected with the neutralizers to stop it from feeling pain.
Itself is safe and effective. It really works. This dog can never become pregnant again. It can never produce again after doing this operation today. Yeah, it can never. Because the organs that actually make the babies are coming out today. Yeah.
And later, when the process is done, she is awake and aware of what has happened to her. Meanwhile, we are here up to the time of feeding. These animals are given food twice a day, but here, puppies eat different food.
We just make a posho, it's just like human posho, the one we are using normally at home. Then we combine them with the fish and we cook them together, mixed together. First we boil water, then we put posho and we mix with the fish.
Just like any other organization, even this has its own challenges.
Just one sack is about 100,000 Uganda shillings, and that can take me only for 2 days. For all the dogs, will take me for 2 days. So I'm buying in a week. I'm buying like about 400 kilograms of posho.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
The festive season is here and it's Christmas in 4G from Airtel. Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda, now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes! 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones this holiday season.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. Happy holidays this festive season with Airtel, the smartphone network.
Introducing the all-new Roofing's TMX 500C rebars with cut and bend surfaces. Roofing's, strength of a nation.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Ntinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Shopping needs this Christmas, come to Capital Shoppers. We have a variety of items like gift hampers, foods, garments, cosmetics, and all sorts of drinks. Enjoy your shopping experience this festive season at affordable prices in our fully stocked branches in the following areas: Ntinda Stretcher Road, opposite Makere Business School along Port Bell Road, Duster Street opposite Nakasero Market, and Garden City on Yusuf Lule Road. At Capital Shoppers, we offer you value for your money. To all our customers and suppliers, we thank you for your continuous support. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. Now in sports news rather. The UPDF Engineering Brigade has confirmed that by June this year, Namboole Stadium will be up and ready for use. The stadium has been under rehabilitation for close to a year now.
When one talks of Namboole Stadium, memories of beautiful sceneries of the national team, the Cranes, playing before 4,000 fans comes in mind. It is not only sporting events, but equally festivals and Passover prayers were held, harboring many memories. Until then, during COVID, when it turned to be an isolation center, Namboole had lost its glamorous beauty and needed refurbishment. The UPDF Engineering Brigade that took on the role to revive the facility has affirmed that Namboole Stadium will be ready for use by June this year. The construction arm of the Army has for more than a year taken up renovation exercises that include the elevation of a perimeter wall, change of the entire roof, playing surface, the running tarmac, the hotel facility, and the general spectator stand.
Telling us is that by he's here, he can speak for himself, but he's saying by June, Namboole will be done at its standards and beyond, because now they have restored to the earlier pre-COVID time, and they are assuring us. And from what we've seen, I think by June, they will be really ready to hand over that project.
The 4-kilometer perimeter wall alone cost close to 4.5 billion shillings, covering parts of Weogele and Chireka. Before closure, CAF highlighted changes in the playing surface, size of the pitch, dressing rooms, floodlights, pavilions, technical bench, media center, and parking, among others that were in their state. Currently, St. Mary's Stadium in Chitende hosts international matches for both the Cranes and clubs.
And all is set for the Legends Fight night due at the MTN Arena Lugogo on the 14th of January. It is organized by Nara Boxing Promotions and will feature a fiesta of boxing and kickboxing.
Professional boxing will get off to a flying start when the Legends Fight night takes center stage at the MTN Arena Lugogo on 14th January 2023. There will be several actors on the night, including Moses Muchibi, who fights Ryan Lawrence in a 58-kilogram super featherweight fight. Muchibi has decided to host public training sessions and has this day been to Kalerwe, where he displayed quality skills.
Flowers.
He was flanked by Suleiman Wusungu, who fights Ben Chalwazi in a 69-kilogram super welterweight engagement. This public training session has attracted so much attention, as evidenced by boxing fan Ibra Kakembo, who was excited and even bought 50 tickets. This Legends Fight Night is organized by Nara Promotions and will feature Shadil Musaboji versus Ivan Magumba in a 75 kilograms 10-round super middleweight title fight as the main event. John Barnes Sentamo, UBC News.
And with that, let's quickly take a look at the headlines once more. Hundreds of mourners gather in Rome to bid farewell to Pope Benedict XVI. The Catholic Church in Uganda mourns the fallen Pope, while government to distribute over 600 freehold land titles in Kakumiro, and former Archbishop Nkoyoyo applauded for developing the church. Well, that does it for news tonight. Thank you for sticking with us throughout the hour. I am RHODA NGOZI. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.